All right, let's start the day off with answering a few comments. I wanted to start with this one because this is funny. This is like a 3-year-old video I did, but I in the video I mentioned that we are booked out for 2 years, which we were back then, and we're still booked out for quite a while. But this guy's like, "You lost me on the book for the next 2 years. Nobody wants anything done on their home in 2 years," and that's just not true. We have multiple clients who have large projects that they want done and they're not in a big rush, building barns, overhangs, additional houses on their property, like all sorts of stuff. And we have a few of those types of clients who just have us back over and over and over again. And they just call and say, "Hey, I want to do this, but I'm not in a hurry. So whenever you can get to it, just let us know." So that's just purely a limiting belief. Plenty of people want work done in the future, and you can find them or they can find you. Let's see what else we got. This guy's asking if local service ads will work for commercial projects. And so you just have to ask yourself, is anybody searching on Google for a contractor to work on a local or to work on a commercial project? And if the answer is of course yes. There's probably far fewer commercial clients than there are residential clients because there's a lot more residential properties than there are commercial properties, depending on your area, but in most places. So there's just going to be fewer people looking for that stuff, but there will be some. And I've seen plenty of really great commercial projects come through from online sources such as Google Local Service Ads, Google Maps, etc. So yes, it will work. You'll have to go in and see which services and locations are available for you. It's not available everywhere yet, and it's not available for all types of service yet, but every month they're adding more. So you'll just have to go in and check. I actually show you how to do that in that video. So this guy, nice video, but I don't understand who would pay that kind of money, especially as a small business. You cannot afford it. And then how do you know that people or a computer system is not just clicking on your stuff, charging you money? So first of all, with local service ads, you only pay for the real leads. So if it's not a real lead, then you don't pay for it. And as far as affordability, the prices of these leads are dictated by the market. So if they were too expensive for everybody, then nobody would buy them and the prices would come down. And so the market sets the prices. If they seem expensive to you, just know that there's another company in your area who is happy to pay this amount. And the right question to ask is, how can you be happy to pay that amount? You can do that by making sure that you price accordingly, that you increase the value of every customer for yourself, maybe with repeat business or better pricing, upsells, those kinds of things. But if the leads cost a certain amount, it's because there's companies in your area happy to pay that. Creepy Uncle Phil says that he lives in San Jose. He's been doing the contractor thing for a couple of years with his father, and they get a lot of work from word of mouth, but he feels like no marketing works. He goes on to talk about his experience in marketing, all the things he's tried. And the thing is like San Jose, that's part of the Bay Area, California. That's one of the most competitive markets in the country, probably in the world for this stuff, for this kind of, for marketing in general, for local services. And so when you start competing in this market, it's like going from high school basketball to the NBA. Like you are immediately competing with the best of the best companies, other companies who have spent decades figuring out how to get this marketing stuff to work for them, who have adjusted their pricing, who are able to get repeat clients and upsell those clients and make their customers really valuable to them so they can turn around and spend a lot of money on marketing. And so when you come in and you start doing this stuff, it's easy to think, oh, well, this stuff just doesn't work because it's not working for you yet. And the thing is you just have to do it probably 10 times as much as you're doing it now. You put out some flyers and stuff, like you probably have to put out 100 times more flyers before you even know how well it's going to work. I talked to a lot of people who are investing like $500 a month in Google ads. In San Jose, you could very well be paying more than $500 per lead. So if you're not even spending enough to get one lead, then it's going to seem like this stuff doesn't work. But that's because there's other companies in your area spending tens of thousands of dollars on this stuff, and they've made it work for them. So if you're gung-ho on running a business in a really competitive market, you just have to go into it expecting to work a lot harder than you would have to if you were in, a rural town that didn't have a lot of competition. And when I talk to people who are starting a company in a really competitive market, I always ask how dedicated they are to living in that area. Because if starting a business and becoming successful fast was my only priority, I would go somewhere where it would be quick and easy rather than try to do it in a location where it's going to take me 10 years to catch up to the herd. So I say that kind of stuff a lot, but for creepy Uncle Phil here, you probably just have to do a lot more before you figure out what works and what doesn't. Let's see. This guy had his business listing suspended for deceptive content. I've seen that a couple times too. In our case, I think it was just a mistake on Google's part. I think their automated systems flag something unnecessarily. And so when you go through the motions of contacting support and asking them to, unsuspend your listing, I recommend just being a little firm with them and just explain, like, you've checked the terms and conditions, you've checked all the content, there is no deceptive thing, there was a mistake on their part, and they need to reinstate it, and see how that works for you. This guy, I'm a new contractor. How do I get leads if I have a very limited budget? He said he has the basics, insurance, etc. My response to him was, do the things that you can do without a budget. So go door to door, cold call, network, go out and promote yourself and go out and hunt down customers. And I think that's a really good skill to have because, you can start investing in marketing and you can get some results, but it's really nice to know that if you need to, you can go out and find customers yourself. And if you can incorporate that into your day to day, like, your company will likely be very successful because it's not just about landing a customer. It's like putting in the work and doing the reps of practicing your pitch and talking to strangers and opening up a conversation with somebody at their front door. And you just get really, really good at talking to people and communicating your value. And that makes everything else you do work better. So there's no replacement for doing this stuff. A lot of people don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want their face on anything. They don't want to be the face of the business. They want to hide in the background. But just know that that's probably going to hold you back. And so, if you're okay with that, then go for it. But otherwise, bite the bullet and go and do the hard stuff, do the uncomfortable stuff. Door to door, cold calls, networking. Here's another guy that said his listing got suspended after doing the video verification. I gave him similar advice: is sometimes you gotta be stern with the customer support people. There's been multiple times where, out of frustration, I very politely told them that they're messing up, that my company's been around for a long time, that it's legitimate, that they're having a negative impact on my business, that it's unacceptable, all this kind of stuff. And then they reinstate my listing. And so sometimes, after you confirm that you didn't do anything wrong, if they're giving you a really hard time, just flip it around on them and Karen them a little bit. Don't be rude, be extremely professional, but call them out on their stuff messing up and just dump a ton of evidence on them about how your company's legit and makes your customers happy and all that kind of stuff. If you dump a ton of evidence on them, chances are they're not even going to look at it. They're just going to think, oh my God, I'm not going to read all this. I'm just going to click the OK button and move on with my day. So sometimes that strategy works pretty well. Jesse Johnson says, in regards to a local service ads video, my conundrum is my average ticket is about $150. So paying $40 for a lead isn't feasible. You have couple options. One, you can either try to find leads for less or you can try to make more money per customer. So I would always lean towards trying to make more money per customer because that will allow you to spend more on a lead and open up your options for where you can get these leads. Otherwise, you might do the door-to-door thing and do the things that you can do on your own. From a high-level standpoint, though, I don't think I would mess around too long with things that were only paying me $150 if it was causing me that much of a trouble. I would change gears and focus on something that's a little higher ticket if it wasn't, if I didn't see a clear path to getting as many customers as I wanted to make the money that I wanted, I would switch gears and just do something different. Yeah, this guy, he's in carpet cleaning, I think. So, maybe get into carpet installation or just do something else, or maybe get some kind of subscription model going where someone pays you, $100 a month to come clean their carpet and signs a 12-month contract or something. So at least you have some kind of consistent income coming in. If each customer is going to be worth $1,200 instead of $150, then you can probably afford to spend a little more per lead.